Good morning, and please remain standing. Welcome to the University of Montevallo's 126th Founders Day celebration. I would like to thank members of our concert choir and Dr. Lori Medal for today's prelude and processional music. And now, may I ask that Mr. Cody Hodge, President of the Student Government Association, come forward and deliver the invocation. Following, Miss Grace Collins, class of 23, will lead us in the singing of our national anthem.
May you please bow your heads. Our Father, thank you for this momentous occasion that not only honors the founding of the University of Montevallo, but is also a day to recognize our seniors as they complete their final moments as undergraduate students. We are gathered here to recognize these students as they don their robes as seniors for the first time. As they endured unprecedented trials over the course of 4 years, these students were bolstered by the high caliber of dedicated professors, committed staff, and loyal friends only institutions such as this could provide. We thank you for helping them persevere in the face of adversity, and we are proud of their zeal for knowledge and their ambition to accomplish lofty goals. We thank you for each other and for this opportunity to congregate and share in the honor bestowed upon our senior class and award recipients. It is in your name we pray. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gay.
Thank you, Cody and Grace. Please be seated. Before we move into our program, I would be remiss if I didn't thank Miss Marion Brown and her sidekick, Andrew Fancher, for all they do to orchestrate this event. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you, Marion. In the late 1800s, as Senator Solomon Block of Camden, Alabama, traveled the roads of our state, he increasingly witnessed many young women relegated to work in the fields to earn a meager living. There was little opportunity or training for young women, and Senator Block found this intolerable. This inspired him to become a powerful voice for change in the legislature. Also at that time, the state of Alabama was fortunate to have among its citizenry a fierce advocate for women's education, the reformer and educator Julia Tutwiler. Through cooperation and commitment, a mere hope and an uncertain idea became a reality that has transformed the lives of over 26,000 women and men. On October 12, 1896, 126 years ago, 400 people anxiously awaited the day's celebration in Reynolds Hall, and another 400 waited outside with excitement as Shelby County and the town of Montevallo could now boast the opening of its own industrial school. From townspeople and statesmen, farmers and business owners, to students and parents, all stood together, shoulder to shoulder, in celebration of their collective efforts to bring forth this institution, which stands steadfast today as the University of Montevallo. Today we honor those who laid a firm foundation for us, and today we stand also shoulder to shoulder as a university and a greater community. Now I'd like to introduce individuals who you will not otherwise meet during the ceremony. As I introduce you, I ask that you stand and remain standing until all are recognized. First, the Honorable Todd Strange, Chairman of the University of Montevallo Board of Trustees. Senator Roger Smitherman has just arrived, I'm told. Senator Smitherman is also a member of our Board of Trustees. Ms. Cynthia Todd, UM Board of Trustees. Dr. Donna Plessel, Interim Dean of the College of Education and Human Development. Dr. Amy Mellon, Interim Dean of the Michael E. Stevens College of Business. Dr. Steve Peters, Dean of the College of Fine Arts. Judge Matt Friday is in attendance, a UM alum. Dr. Robert Barone, Academic Grand Marshal. And yes, I have a favorite guest, ladies and gentlemen. She is the First Lady of Montevallo, Cindy Howard Stewart. Please join me in welcoming them to our celebration today. Also with us this morning are individuals and groups who merit our recognition. Please stand as I introduce you. Ms. Eliza Rhodes Hudson, wife of our keynote speaker, Blake. Ms. Carrie DeYampert Grider and Mr. Ron Grider, niece and great-nephew of Mr. Charlie Webb, Jr., who will be honored at the post office later today. Representatives of the City of Montevallo and Shelby County, representatives of the University of Montevallo National Alumni Association and Junior Board, members of the UM Foundation Board, the 1896 Society, and may I ask that anyone who has served actively in our military and all U.S. military veterans please also stand. Thank you. Also with us today are several family members of our alumni, faculty, and staff who will be honored today. As I introduce you, please stand and remain standing until all are introduced. Dr. Amy Samuels, wife of the Outstanding Commitment to Teaching Award winner. Sisters, Ms. Sarah Nelson and Ms. Barbara Carroll. Nephew, Mr. Brad Nelson. Friends, Mary Bentley and Donna Ward of our Mary Lou Elder Williams Alumni Award. Mother, Mrs. Layla Marshall. Children, Clara and Brock Mitchell. Sister and niece, Miss Rachel and Miss Cora Odomes. and Aunt Miss Tiffany Sanders of the Jermaine B. Mitchell Faculty Service Award, which will be given posthumously today. And Shaquilla, family members of Jermaine Mitchell, we miss him too. He was very dearly loved on our campus. Miss Allison Carmichael, wife of our Adjunct Teaching Award winner. Parents, Miss Tommy and Mr. Sean Hood, and husband, Mr. Stephen Bell of our Outstanding Staff Service Award. Please join me in giving them a round of applause. This year's Founders Day theme is a Montevallo moment, and we are truly bound together by our experiences and moments at UM, both large and small. A Montevallo moment may come in the form of a personal success or recognition, where it may be the smallest act of kindness that leads to a lifelong friendship on our campus. It may be stopping to enjoy the beauty of the golden ginkgo tree by Reynolds in the fall, where seniors, it will be that lasting feeling of home when you return to campus next year as alums. Members of the senior class, as we embark on this important part of our convocation, please take this moment to reflect on your time here at Montevallo. Consider your challenges and successes and those who helped you reach this day and the friends and memories that will remain with you always. Also know that the same determination which brought you to this point in your undergraduate education will help guide you and sustain you throughout life's journey. Now, Dr. Ruth Truss, on behalf of Vice President and Provost Dr. Courtney Bentley, will come to the podium and ask the senior class president, Ms. Desiree Billingsley, to join her at the podium for the 80-year-old tradition of the formal investiture or robing of the senior class.
Seniors, please locate the class pledge in your program. If you have your robes, grab those and then stand, please. This portion of the day is a distinct honor for you as it recognizes both personal and academic growth and celebrates your achievements. We will recite the pledge together. At the conclusion, I will robe Ms. Billingsley, and as I do so, you may don your academic gowns. Ready? In full consciousness of the truth and responsibility signified by the bestowal of this cap and gown, I do hereby pledge myself to uphold to the best of my ability the faith manifested in me by the University of Montevallo. All right. Please join me in congratulating the class of 2023. Seniors, please put your gown on. Congratulations, and you may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Truss. Congratulations, seniors. This marks your official entry into the community of scholars, and even though it is your final Founders Day as students, we look forward to seeing you here again as alums. I offer you my best wishes for success this senior year and a bright future beyond. In 1926, a unique tradition was begun by the seniors at the university who felt the juniors needed to make the transition from a junior to an exalted senior. The senior women hid the crook somewhere on campus for juniors to find. As times changed, so did this tradition. Since 1999, finding the crook has been open to all students each year. The Founders Day Committee determines where it will be hidden and publishes clues to its mysterious location. This year, the crook was hidden in honor of our keynote speaker, Blake Hudson, who earned 2 bachelor's degrees with us, one in history and one in political science and pre-law. In a bit of a twist, the crook was located at the Center for the Arts as it stands in the former location of Jeter Hall. I am pleased to announce that Rachel Johnson, Cole Swain, and Lucy Frost Helms again found the crook. Second year in a row. Congratulations on your keen detective work. Please come out. Champions 2 years running, ladies and gentlemen. Seniors, as your undergraduate years come to a close, they will be filled with opportunities and excitement in the future. Back in 2002, today's speaker was sitting here just as you, wondering what the future might hold for him. 20 years later, he returns to the stage as our honored keynote speaker. Mr. Blake Hudson became the dean and a professor of law at Samford University's Cumberland School of Law this past July. As a 2002 graduate of the University of Montevallo, he earned a bachelor's degree in biology and history with minors in pre-law and political science. He holds a law degree from Duke University and a master's degree in environmental science at Duke while he did his law degree at Duke. Before becoming Dean of Cumberland, Mr. Hudson was the Samuel T. Dell Professor of Law and Director of the Environmental Land Use and Real Estate Program at the University of Florida's Frederick G. Levin College of Law. Mr. Hudson was also a professor of law at the University of Houston Law Center and a professor at LSU School of Law after starting at the Stetson University School of Law. Blake, I don't think this is academic speak, but so far you're killing it, dude. Mr. Hudson specializes in property, environmental, and natural resources law with a specific emphasis on the role of forest management in combating climate change and the impact of land development on sustainable natural resource management. He has also written more than 30 legal and peer-reviewed academic journal articles and is the author of 3 books. You've been busy the last 20 years, for sure. So I know that we have some faculty members who actually taught Blake when he was here in College of Behavioral Sciences, but any of our faculty who were here when Blake was here, thank you for what you do every day in our classrooms. Blake is a walking, talking example of your devotion and your level of excellence in the classroom, and I just want to take a minute to thank you. So Blake Hudson, it's been 20 years since you were up here as senior class president, but would you please come to the podium and deliver our keynote address?
Well, Dr. Stewart says I'm killing it. Some people would say I can't hold down a job. But hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here today. It's such an honor to be here. I'm so thankful for Dr. Stewart and his leadership and his mentorship to me as I've joined the ranks of administration. Dr. Truss as well. It seems like it was a gravitational pull toward administration sometimes. But it's been a long time since I was on this stage for Founders Day. It was just over 20 years ago, the last time I was here. I was speaking as the senior class president, and the keynote speaker that day stood up here right before I was to come up, and he began his speech with a poignant line. Success cannot be defined. A pang of panic came over me as I looked down at my notes, which I always typed out, and the first line of the remarks that I was just about to give started with, "Success is defined as." Luckily, there's no senior class president speaking today, so we won't have to worry about mixed signals, right? But it's so good to be back. After 20 years, my wife and I feel like we truly have come home. As Dr. Stewart noted, I graduated Montevallo in 2002. My wife graduated from Samford University in 2003. And so we're just over the moon that we're both so close to undergraduate institutions that we care so deeply about. I'm grateful to have an opportunity to serve as the Dean of the Cumberland School of Law at Samford, but it would not have been possible without the many moments that shaped me during my time at Montevallo. I understand that Moment UM is the theme of the university this year, and I can say without a doubt that the many moments that I had at Montevallo were transformative in my life. My father had no running water or electricity in his house until he was 14 years old, which was 1962. That's pretty late in the game to be bathing out of a pot of water before going off to high school. Less than a decade later, he graduated the University of Montevallo with his master's degree. So the first moment of import for me was even being able to attend Montevallo. Affordability was a part of that. An affordable education is what allowed my father to pursue a degree here. My parents were unable to pay all of the cost of my attendance here, but I was able to come here and receive such a quality education because it was affordable. I played basketball for 3 years before realizing that my grades were slipping because I was trying to play basketball. My basketball was slipping because I was trying to study, so something had to give. At that point, I became really involved on campus. In fact, when I think about how time flows differently when we're young relative to when we're older, I think about how those 2 years at Montevallo, when I was not playing basketball, felt like a decade worth of memories. I made many friends, but the lifelong friendships that I developed with my professors ultimately inspired me to go into the educational field myself. I split my time between Jeter Hall, rest in peace, and Harmon, between history and biology, and that offered me the opportunity to meet so many faculty. Of course, I stayed confused because I was told to write in active voice, active voice, active voice in history, and then I was told to write in passive voice, passive voice, passive voice in biology. But it was Drs. Hultquist, Truss, Barone, Day, Fallon, Turner, Hamilton, and so many others in the history and political science departments who truly inspired me to go to law school. Drs. Hardig, Peterson, Braid, McGuire, and others in the biology building helped me further develop my love for nature and the environment. Because of the individual attention and genuine investment of time and energy I received from each of these faculty, I was able to attend Duke University and tie my majors together by pursuing a law degree and a master's in environmental science and policy. My experiences with these faculty members was a sustained moment over my entire time at University of Montevallo. But there were other specific moments that shaped my life in important ways. One was participating in the National Collegiate Undergraduate Research Program. Dr. Clark Hultquist, who I remain close friends with to this day, helped me develop a project looking at advertising during the Great Depression. I scanned the images of all the advertisements from an old Clark County Democrat newspapers from that era that are still on file down in Clark County, Alabama, where I'm from. I interviewed people who lived through the Depression to see if they could actually afford a $30 dress or fancy hat during that time. This experience really opened my eyes to the importance of rigor in research. But I wasn't done. I also did an undergraduate research project with Mike Hardig in biology, who also remains a close friend. I scanned hundreds of leaves of different species of plants to provide a morphological analysis to complement Dr. Hardig's genetic analysis, to challenge the prevailing view in biology textbooks on this particular species' origin. Dr. Hardig allowed me to be co-authored on that article that was published out of that research, which set me up for success in future publication opportunities. Due to his example of treating me as an equal, even though I was a student here, I've since had student co-authors on some of my own work. And Dr. Hardig and I even later worked together on a law review article about the protection of Ebenezer Preserve, which he worked tirelessly to protect. Other critical Montevallo moments involved the many other opportunities I had to get involved on campus. I became a member of the Alpha Kappa Lambda fraternity and met some of my best friends, many of whom ultimately also pursued law degrees. Current Court of Civil Appeals judge and former Republican member of the House of Representatives, Matt Friday, who's here, is one of those. Another was Andy Heaton, who is currently working on Democratic Senator Raphael Warnock's campaign in Georgia. These friendships with others who are actively engaged in shaping law and policy in our state and in our nation would not have been possible without my experiences and these moments at Montevallo. The moments I experienced at Montevallo developed such a deep love in my heart for this place that I continue to be involved. In 2011, I was fortunate to begin teaching environmental law-related coursework during May term. I've since shifted to doing that online during the summer, but I'm so proud that Montevallo now has an environmental studies program led by the amazing Susan Caplow. It provides students with a chance to be exposed to a field that I was unable to access even during my time at Montevallo. So the Montevallo moments keep getting better. For those who support the university, I encourage you to give back in whatever way that you can, because you will create more moments for students that may be our next legislators, judges, law professors, among a variety of other important professions. And for those who are students here, you may not see it now, but the moments you are experiencing here at Montevallo will shape the rest of your life, perhaps in unanticipated ways. Make the most of those moments, seize them, and turn them into lasting imprints on your life. I'm grateful that Montevallo gave me so many good moments, and now that I'm back home, I look forward to re-engaging and looking for ways to create more Montevallo moments for others. I'm grateful for Montevallo and would not be doing what I am today without my experiences here and without the support of the people here who make it such a phenomenal place to go to college. So I'm so grateful for you all. Good luck to the senior class, and thank you so much.
By the way, I failed to mention earlier when I introduced Blake, Blake is the second of the UM graduates to become the dean of two of our three accredited law schools in the state of Alabama, and the two most well-known, Blake at Sanford's Law School, and Mark Brandon, who spoke some years ago here as a UM alum and the dean of the law school at the University of Alabama. So thank you again to the faculty who prepare these students to go out and do these amazing things. Blake, would you please join me again at the podium? We have a lot of plaques under here, I'm sorry. Blake, this is the President's Award given to you in recognition of your commitment to enriching the lives of students and your continued research of natural resources and their preservation and the benefit to all the national citizenry in that regard. Presented October 13th, 2022. We're super proud of you. Thank you. And now, in honor of our speaker, we will enjoy a special performance by the University of Montevallo Concert Choir under the direction of Dr. Melinda Doyle.
My
It is my distinct honor to present this year's University Scholar Award to Dr. Ashley Wurzbacher, Associate Professor of English. Dr. Wurzbacher was nominated by her colleague, Dr. Emma Atwood, and supported by letters from her chair, Dr. Paul Mahaffey, and colleagues, Drs. Cynthia Mwinja, Valerie Johnson, Jennifer Rickle, Jim Murphy, and Melissa Shepard. Dr. Wurzbacher has compiled an impressive publication record, but I will concentrate today's comments on her much-lauded short story collection titled Happy Like This. On the strength of this work, Dr. Wurzbacher was selected for the National Book Foundation's 5 Under 35 Award. This is a recognition presented annually to only 5 authors worldwide whose work promises, and this is a quote, to leave a lasting impression on the literary landscape. Specifically about Happy Like This, one judge noted, each story pulses with electric writing, often humorous, but always full of authenticity and compassion. Dr. Wurzbacher's writing has earned critical praise across many outlets, which use phrases such as vital and bewitching, powerful and captivating, and gorgeous, varied, brilliant, and accomplished. As a New York Times reviewer wrote, "This is a writer at the top of her game, but hopefully she's only just getting started." No pressure, Dr. Wurzbacher. We are proud to have her as part of the UM family. Please join me in congratulating Dr. Ashley Wurzbacher, our 2022 University Scholar. I'll find it in a minute. There it is.
Thanks, Ruth. Oops. It's an honor to be recognized by my colleagues today. I was deeply moved by their letters of support and their kind words about my work. I'm especially grateful to those friends and colleagues who've supported my writing most directly, particularly Alex Behringer, who has talked me off various writing-related ledges and who attends to my male characters' wardrobes, and Melissa Shepard, who has gone out of her way to educate me in psychology over the past several years as I've worked on a novel about a social psychologist. I'm grateful to my students for constantly surprising and delighting me with their creativity and with the kindness they show one another. Most of all, I'm grateful to my bestie and work wife, Emma Atwood, for nominating me for this distinction with characteristic generosity, enthusiasm, and charisma. I'm fortunate to be surrounded by such brilliant and big-hearted coworkers and students. I always tell my creative writing students that contrary to popular belief, writing is not a solitary act. We need other people in order to do our work and do it well. We need people to read our work and tell us when it's good and tell us when it's bad. Sometimes it's bad. We need to read other people's work as well, and we need people to share the kinds of meaningful experiences with us that inspire good fiction. So all of you, especially the writers among you, I can't see your faces because it's very bright out there, but I hope very much that you'll be those people for each other. Thanks.
Congratulations, Ashley. And now Dr. Claire Edwards, President of the Faculty Senate, will present the Faculty Service Award. Following, Dr. Truss will return and bestow the Adjunct Teaching Award. After these university awards, Ms. Stephanie Shaw, President of the National Alumni Association, will present the Outstanding Staff Service Award, Outstanding Commitment to Teaching Award, and the Mary Lou Elder Williams Alumni Loyalty Award. Dr. Edwards?
Good morning. Each year, the Faculty Senate recognizes a University of Montevallo professor's dedication to the provision of service and their impact on the university community. Inclusive, passion, advocate, integrity, compassion, and humility. These words embody the recipient of this year's Faculty Service Award. Dr. Jermaine Mitchell exemplified service to the university and the community in various capacities. He used his degree in education to make a difference in people's lives. Dr. Mitchell created the Dive into Thrive program, which provides water safety and education to families. He served on the Thrive Together Shelby County Leadership Council, which assists single mothers. He implemented exercise classes for senior citizens in the community and exercise programs for the Boys and Girls Club. Several years ago, he conducted a walkability survey with UM students, which aided in developing the ADA plan for the city of Montevallo. He ensured the success of UM students by exposing them to the adaptive community with trips to Lakeshore and the exercise program initiatives for the Falcon Flight program on campus. He provided internships and experiences which they may not have otherwise gotten at a different institution, and helped students obtain special certifications. He also participated in undergraduate research initiatives. I only heard positive and uplifting comments from his colleagues and friends, and this is where I might get emotional. So they shared that he was a great friend, an incredible person, led the way in service in the department, showed heart and passion for people and their wellness, strived for inclusion, built relationships, and was devoted to the disadvantaged and less fortunate. One colleague noted, "He was the best of us." And another stated, when I asked about his service, "He lived it." I'm honored to present the newly renamed Jermaine Mitchell Faculty Service Award in his honor to his Dr. Key Mitchell.
Well, thank you, everybody. I am just so pleased and honored, just very humbled to accept this highly coveted and just prestigious award on Jermaine's behalf. I would like to thank the Founders Day Committee, Dr. Bentley, President Stewart, Marion Brown, and just the entire UM family during this difficult time for our family. You all have provided such unwavering support and love and have kept me and the kids connected during this time. Anyone that knows Jermaine, a little bit of humor here, you would know he would hate this much attention for the service. Dr. Bloom, I'm sorry I have to shout you out because you know how much he would hate this. So it's really ironic that I'm standing here in his place to accept this award. So I would say it works out pretty well for you, Jermaine. He definitely believed in the power of people and collaboration, dedicated his life and a lot of his time, oh goodness, to his community. So I am just so proud that the kids have a legacy of excellence and integrity and service that has been left by their dad. To say that we're grateful, me, the kids, his mom, entire family, just wouldn't come close to receiving this honor. Jermaine lived a very short life, but yet a full life. And his service and commitment has touched so many individuals. So it's my sincere and just honest appreciation and thanks. Thank you.
On behalf of Provost Dr. Courtney Bentley. It is my pleasure to be able to present this year's Adjunct Faculty Teaching Award to Mr. William Bill Carmichael. Mr. Carmichael earned a BA in philosophy from Auburn University and his MED in secondary social science from the University of Montevallo. He has taught world history at UM since 2011 and so has become a dependable mainstay in Fallon Hall. He is fair, understanding, and flexible with students who appreciate his humor as well as his lectures. His nominator and department chair, Dr. Clark Hultquist, noted Mr. Carmichael's longstanding commitment and selfless service, as well as the fact that, quote, he never grumbles. That's an important characteristic to chairs. Please join me in congratulating Mr. Bill Carmichael as the recipient of the 2022 Adjunct Faculty Teaching Award.
Good morning, university community. I have the privilege of serving thousands of loyal Montevallo alumni as the president of the National Alumni Association. And today I have the distinct honor of awarding 3 deserving award recipients, including a staff member, faculty member, and an alum, for their extraordinary commitment and service to the alma mater we hold so dear. Our first award recipient, Jenny Bell, has been a devoted staff member since 2010. She began working as a student life coordinator, and now she serves as the director of student life. Jenny works tirelessly for our students. She and her team serve students well beyond the customary workday. She works to engage UM students from the time they are prospective students by planning orientation and welcome weekend, and to overseeing SGA, Greek life, and more than 90 student organizations. With all of this, Jenny takes student leaders under her wing and guides them along their paths to graduation and beyond. Jenny, I'd like to ask you to come forward for recognition as... Hi. Jenny, thank you for being here. Thank you, as you are this year's recipient of the Outstanding Staff Service Award. Y'all, you really can't see up here, just so you know. The Outstanding Commitment to Teaching Award recognizes the dedication of our faculty to the classroom and its students. Dr. Greg Samuels, Associate Professor of Secondary Education and Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer, exemplifies such dedication. Greg Samuels joined the faculty in 2014 and immediately set to work on guiding future educators with a mindset focused on multiculturalism and inclusivity. Dr. Samuels is a researcher, innovative teacher, mentor, and advocate. His nominator wrote, Dr. Samuels embodies commitment and the meaning behind this great honor. His impact transcends the classroom, and he represents everything you would hope for in a professor and a mentor. He is a shining example of humility, dedication, and excellence. Dr. Greg Samuels, please come forward. Our final recognition today will be the Mary Lou Elder Williams Alumni Loyalty Award. And I just have to say, this is a special one for me because I knew Mary Lou Williams so much and she influenced me so much when I was a student on campus here at Montevallo. This award is named for former student and alumni director of UM. It reflects the values and commitments that we uphold as citizens of a scholarly community. Ms. Claudia Harrell epitomizes these values. As a student, Claudia was involved as a student athlete, active in physical education studies, participant in college night, and more. Her attitude for gratitude shows profoundly when she describes her time on the brick streets. Her UM stories will have you mesmerized, especially when she vividly recounts her time as college night leader with her co-leader, Jim Methvin. In 1973, the two brought home the victory for the Gold Side. Her loyalty to the University of Montevallo did not stop at graduation. She has been an unwavering supporter for all things Montevallo. I don't think she's missed a college night since her time as a student. She volunteers at move-in days, athletic events, and numerous alumni activities, including serving on the alumni board multiple times. Claudia is always there, ready to step in and do absolutely anything to make an event or project of any scope successful. She's often the first volunteer to arrive and the last one to leave. Claudia gives of her time, talent, and treasures to the university without asking for anything in return. She simply wants to ensure students have the same access to education and the Montevallo experience that she holds so dear. Claudia, will you please come forward? It is with great pleasure that we recognize you, Claudia, as the recipient of the 2022 Mary Lou Elder Williams Alumni Loyalty Award. You are truly deserving of this award. You guys just have no idea how much this lady puts in to the university that you get to attend. Thank you for all you do for the University of Montevallo. To our award winners and to our junior board's 15 within 15 honorees, we look forward to celebrating your service and achievement along with your guests this evening at the UMNAA Awards Dinner. Now I'd like to say a few words to our seniors, and this includes the child that made me a mother, my Josie. First, let me congratulate you for reaching this achievement in your academic career. Soon you will be alumni, and there are many opportunities to continue and serve and lead at UM. Stay connected and enjoy those dear friendships you've made over the years. Expand the growth that you experienced as a student through service and leadership as an alum. Provide financial support for the next generation of UM students, just as current UM alumni are doing for you now. The Alumni Association is so proud of you, particularly all the things that you guys have accomplished that I've seen through the lens as a mom of Josie, through the pandemic and all of the other things that you guys have been through. It's been a lot, and you've endured, and you'll be greater for it. The Alumni Association is proud of you and here for you. And remember, you always belong at Montevallo. We hope all of you will join us throughout this exciting weekend for the Purple and Gold Ice Cream Social tomorrow afternoon and the 2022 College Night Review, Once Upon a College Night, tomorrow evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Stephanie. I congratulate each of you for receiving these well-deserved and high honors. Your contributions have bettered the classroom, community, and your alma mater, and this family of learners. Thank you for all you do every day to support this great institution. And now, on behalf of the Founders Day Committee, I invite all gathered here to join us for lunch and fellowship following the ceremony in Anna Irvin Hall. We sincerely appreciate your attendance to this celebration and ask that you remain with us for the dedication of the Mr. Charles Webb Jr. Post Office at 2 p.m. down in Farmer Hall on the patio. We wish you safe travels home and hope that you will return to campus often. And now ask Dr. Melinda Doyle to come forward and lead us in the singing of our alma mater, the words which are printed in your program. Following, Mr. Ethan Ivey, student trustee, will deliver the benediction, Will you please stand and remain standing throughout the recessional? Thank you.
Alma mater ever glorious, seeking right and freedom's way, raise a beacon high to guide us, shed thy light afar, we pray. Sons and daughters sing thy praises, steadfast virtues win thee fame. May thy years be rich and fruitful, truth and honor crown thy name.
Let us pray. Our Father, on this historic day of the founding of ours, the University of Montevallo, I thank all those who have made this journey possible, the faculty and staff, but also the parents, coaches, family members, and mentors. May God bless your incredibly diligent work to the lives of these here assembled. As for these, the graduates, your time in college has been rigorous and unpredictable. Yet here you stand. May the Lord bless your endeavors in this next chapter of life, and may your time here be remembered as the first step of the rest of your life. It is in your name that I pray. Amen.